Jeremy White Podcast. Tuesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Available wherever you get your podcasts.
The Jeremy White Podcast.
With Bustan. For the best Lebanese cuisine in Montreal, it's got to be Bustan. Visit bustan.ca.
And loudtracks.com. Helping fans connect to their favourite artists. 100% high quality, officially licensed band merchandise that supports the artists you love. Visit our official band merch store at loudtracks.com. Watch the Jeremy White Podcast exclusively on YouTube.
Well, let's get right into it. Very excited to talk to Rebecca Cruz. She's, known in the music biz as Regina Madre, but she's coming out of the closet and she's finally admitting to her talent. She's got an album coming out after just tons of health struggles that we're going to get into. But how are you doing? You look beautiful, by the way. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you. You like my hair?
Yeah.
I specifically do.
Me and the assistant pulled out the wave iron, and I think we kind of did pretty good.
No, you look like you're about to hop on stage. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we love.
Yeah. So talk about, this. I'll be honest with you. So reading your story about the breast cancer and everything that you went through with the double mastectomy and everything, I just lost my auntie 2 years ago to breast cancer. She'd had it, maybe like 12 years prior to that, kind of like, like something that you kind of familiar with. And, she got the surgery, she did everything, and then it slowly just came back. And then all of a sudden, we all had, her birthday dinner like in July, and then in August she was gone.
Oh.
And she was one of those cases where she was very stubborn and she was like, whatever, I don't want to go get checked. I don't want to do that. I already went through this. I went through that. So she just kind of like let it run its course. Whereas you were very smart in your thing, saying that, listen, if there's anything there, I'm just going to get the things cut off and that's it, and not have to worry about it. So talk a little bit about that experience. Cause it's like, that's a major decision to make.
It is. I'll tell you, basically what precipitated my decision was that I normally am very diligent to go every year and check every single thing. And for whatever reason, we had traveled the previous Christmas. And so I don't know if we just were busy, but I had put it off. And, I tell people, listen to yourself, something kept telling me, go check yourself, And so when I went and got the checkup and they found the growth, I was kind of, it's probably the same thing as last time, non-cancer. But I heard that little voice in my heart say, if it turns out to be something, be drastic, be very drastic. And so I just had peace, I'm a woman of faith, and just that still guidance within me was kind of leading me as I went, each step of the way. It was like, because initially I was just going to do the one. And then eventually I felt just, I might as well do both. And then why risk it, or why spend the next 10 years worrying about the other one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that I did. And I'm very thankful to be alive. I'm so sorry to hear about your aunt. I actually just had my oncologist checkup yesterday, and my blood work is clean.
Oh, great.
So you do your blood every 3 or 4 months. They check your blood to see if there's any, I don't know quite what word they use, if it's an antibody or something that they see in the blood.
Yeah, it's probably like a cancerous sort of
marker
like
or something.
enzyme or something.
Let me just ask you, how difficult is it to get the treatment and to get the follow-ups in the pandemic? Because, the hospitals are full and they're telling people stay away. And of course, being sick puts you at greater risk. So if you go into an emergency room where there's people with COVID, so how have they been able to follow up and keep you safe and clean? And
well, initially when they shut us down the first time, unless you had COVID, you couldn't see a doctor. I mean, it was pretty.
Right. And that's the same thing here, which has been a huge problem with cancer patients saying, hey, we're maybe not dying from COVID, but we're dying from cancer. Like, hello.
Right. I just happened to have gotten my surgery just weeks before they shut California down. I count myself to be very fortunate. I did do a couple telehealth, but the cancer center where I, am seen, they're just very careful. They take our temperature and they screen us. It's one person at a time in the room. And so I've been able to have all of my oncology follow-ups throughout this time, just because they're very safe protocols. Each time you go in, you just say a prayer like, please no, please no.
Yeah. Please don't be anything else at this point, It's like,
well, and you know what? Mine was stage 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it was no spread to my lymph node, so that's a good sign that it probably has not leapfrogged somewhere else in the body. But according to my doctor, there is a small chance that a cell can float away through another route,
Yeah, don't they give you like some sort of pill or something like that, like after you have the type of surgery, just kind of like kill off like the other piece of the cancer? Like if there was that chance that something did kind of like branch off somewhere, like, they give you like almost like a small dose of chemo. And
what it is estrogen suppressor. And unfortunately, there are side effects with that as well. There's a high risk for stroke and heart attack with this drug. I am not on the pill right now, but I'm open to taking it. I tried it for about a month and it made me really feel awful.
Right. I can imagine that.
So I just took a chance and said, I'm going to stay off the pill at least for now.
Yeah.
And, but I'm not opposed to taking it. I just,
given that context and given what you're going through, how important then does making music become to you? Because it's got to be the spiritual uplifter where you just go, you know what? I'm going to sing. I'm going to make me happy. I'm going to make my listeners happy. How important does the music become under this circumstance?
Well, for me, it was just about, I just had to keep living. There's a song that I love that I think is such a life lesson, and it's from Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep
swimming.
Right.
Can't go wrong with Nemo.
I related to that because I've had a lot of ups and downs in life. And for me, this was no different. I had to choose to get up each day and say, I'm fighting this. I'm going to live. I have reasons to live. I have reasons to not lay around in self-pity, worrying about my future. And I'm thankful that I just had a lot to do. I had a son who's a working actor, and then I was finishing this album. I'd been working on it for the last year, and everything in my spirit said, finish your record, put out your record, do everything you were planning to do. Just keep planning your life, proceed as if success is inevitable.
Just swimming.
Keep swimming. So the album comes out as Regina Cruz now, not Regina. Rebecca.
Yeah, Regina Madre. Is it Rebecca Cruz? Like, you. I
am going to use Regina Madre because she is my music alter ego.
Okay.
Rebecca Cruz is a little bit synonymous with, the mom brand and the wife brand. And I love that. I'm proud of that. But sometimes it's hard for people to see you another way.
Right. But it is a brand, and it's very difficult to get a winning brand in the business. So when you do, why not use it?
Oh, I'm using it. It's just that Regina is like my Sasha Fierce. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. No, that makes
another
sense.
girl altogether. And I'm not, I kind of came out a little while ago. What happened was I was pursuing radio play with one of my songs, and I found that because this perception was so strong, it just took a while for people to know me as a musician, even though I've been one since I was 9 years old. So I secretly put this record out under Regina Madre, and I got my first 2 radio singles. They were kind of regional. They got national airplay on XM. And I was so happy because they didn't care how old I was. They didn't care that I'm this celebrity wife. It didn't matter. They loved the song. And that's what I was hoping to have happen, and it did.
Well, that's the thing, it's like at the end of the day, if you're going to go by an alter ego or, use like a pseudonym or different things, it's like at the end of that, it allows the art to do the talking and it lets the music do the talking. There's no prejudice whatsoever.
Right, exactly. And even now, putting out the record, I'm sliding it to some people without my name on it, just to get their honest opinion of the songs and the writing and the production. Because I just want them to say, "Oh, this is great," or "Oh, it's okay."
Yeah, or like, who is this? This is awesome. Or it's like
or not be too nice because I'm Terry's wife and he'll beat him up.
Exactly.
Oh wait, oh this sucks. Wait, you're Terry's wife? Oh, this is amazing. I love this.
Right. That's what'll kill you in Hollywood. Encouragement.
Well, yeah, it's right. It's so hard to get some positivity out of people. So as soon as you get it, I'm going to take it.
Yes, absolutely. I love your hat, by the way, bro. I've become quite a hat wearer the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And I'm vibing with that topper, man.
I've really been getting into hats. So what kind of hats do you have? Do you have like Lone Hawk? Do you use Nick Fouquet? Do you?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm a little fashionista. So I've got
today I'm rocking John Varvatos and Lone Hawk hats. So,
right. I love Eugenia Kim. She makes these fabulous wide brim hats. If you look at an old Regina Madre press photo, there's the big black hat with the black trench. That's Eugenia Kim. I've got a Brunello Cucinelli. Is it Hobbs Brothers or something?
Okay.
So I just buy what I like. I can't say that I'm loyal to a hat brand at this stage. But
yeah, it either looks good or it doesn't, and you'll either like it or you don't. It's like
I used to have very short hair, so the hats and the short hair didn't really go together. So when I grew my hair and my roots were this big, right? I throw that hat on, like, hey, I'm kind of cute.
Well, that's it. Or you just throw an awesome wig on, or get a nice weave, and you got the locks, and you got the top, and it's good.
I'm gonna need both of those. I'm gonna need the wig and the hat, I think.
I don't know. Wigs are a lot in California. I'm like, it's warm enough here most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't know about the wig. In the music video, I wear the wigs, but not in real life.
Not in real life.
Not the dinner. So talk about the album then. When can we expect this to come out? Because there wasn't really a release date announced or even like a title for the album. And in the press release, they're talking about jazz and electronic and soul and some pop stuff. What are the type of sounds that we're going to hear on the record, and who were some of the influences that you had going into making this music?
I like to call my music grown folks music. There is an element of there's some strong R&B influence, little more old school R&B. Singer-songwriter, I'm a pianist, so I write from the piano. So if you think about maybe Alicia Keys meets a little Adele, a little Carole King, and there's a soulful element to the music, so some of it's right down that adult R&B lane. And then there's some songs in there that are very pop and cinematic. I'm really hoping to play some of the songs in movies and TV. So string orchestra, I got this fabulous orchestra from Chicago on 3 songs.
Oh, that's great. Now, is everything written by you, or do you collaborate with like a Desmond Child or a Holly Knight, or do you have a team, or how does it work making this album become a reality?
I will tell you that I wrote every song on the record.
Oh, wow.
Except for one. There's one that's co-written with me and a guy named Kendall Duffy out of Nashville. He sent me that song, and then I'm working on another one that was written by another gentleman, but we haven't got it in the can yet, so I can't say if it's going to make the cut. Okay. But everything else I wrote, and I've been writing songs since I was 10 years old. So some of these songs I wrote 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 5 years ago. Some of them I wrote just in the last couple of years. And I just kind of pulled together a story. This album is telling a story that I think is just every human has gone through some of the things I share, whether it's betrayal, rejection, fear of rejection. And then the sense that no matter what I go through with you, I love you anyway, you know?
Right.
So it's about my marriage, but it's not just about my marriage. I've written songs from other people's perspectives, their relationships. There's a song called Fairy Tale that I wrote for my best friend, Muriel Espy. And it wasn't my story, but about 8 years after I wrote it, I was like, now this is my story. I think now I can sing this with a little more heart, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's just the life we're living. And of course, I always endeavor to take the song out of such a, you know, navel gazing place and identify with other people's issues so that they hear their life in the song too.
Well, I think it also goes back to artists, you know, even if we are, or, you know, a songwriter is going to tell somebody else's story, they also sort of connect to it in some way as well and sort of interject a little bit of their personal experience into that too. So I know where you're coming from, you know?
Right. Is Terry involved in the process? I mean, do you write a song that's personal and go to him and say, is this too personal? Is this good? Does he have any kind of, or is it no, my music career is, I'm over here in this box and he's over there. How much of this is sort of the team together?
Well,
you've got to play him a song every so often and say, hey, honey, is this good? Come on.
Like, have you written a song and you're like, hey, check this out? And he's like, yo, baby, like, why are you writing? Why are you writing this?
Okay, I'm going to say, I have a song that I wrote years ago. It's not on this project.
Right.
Called I Love Him.
Right.
And I wrote it for a girlfriend who has a sister who was with this really no good guy. So we're getting our legs waxed and she's talking about her sister's friend. And I went, that's a song. So it just goes, I love him, even though he treats me bad, leave me crying and feeling sad. I love him. It's a great song. It's kind of a little Fantasia, a little Mary J.
That's got a hook right there.
And my husband goes, why I always got to be treat you bad and make you sad? I said, I didn't want to. You know, he said, I'm about tired of being treat you bad and make you sad. When am I going to get, you know, you a good man, you know? I said, well, first off, act like one and I'll write you a song about me.
There you go.
And I say that, you know, tongue in cheek. I mean, we've been married 32 years. So I have a song on the album called Never Be the Same that has a classic video. I won't give too much away, but it's so beautiful. That was about our struggle, which we've talked about publicly.
Right.
We've broken up and got back together.
Right.
I should say this, that song was hard to write. It was hard to sing. I don't know if I'll ever sing it publicly. It's just so emotional.
Isn't that what makes a great performance? Is that you connect on that emotional level with the audience?
But if you're snotting and crying through the song, you better lip sync it, you know.
But it makes for great YouTube views. People will be clicking on that all day. They'll be like, look at her. She's crying.
You know how many albums it'll sell? It'll be on Entertainment Tonight. Yeah. Like Rebecca Cruz breaks down over breakup song about Terry. Like tonight at 7.
Well, I have to tell you, because we've shared so much about that story, you know, we've talked about it. You know, we'll be sharing it in some future releases that I can't talk about. But we've talked a lot about that. So as I described the video to him, he's like, okay, but that character can't look like me.
Yeah, really, really hot actor. No. Get like some schlub.
Well, so we created an imaginary husband for the video.
Oh.
Because, you know, he's done his part. He's done his part to renew the vow, to pray, to say, wifey, you know, I'm going to be a do-gooder from now on. I'm going to treat you like I used to when we were young. We did all the things you could do to revive the family.
Right.
We have this beautiful thing now. So to talk about it when it wasn't good is hard. Okay. And it's hard for him because he was the fuck up. So,
Right.
but he has changed.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with calling him out on that and being straightforward.
Yeah.
Hey, you
But,
fucked up, man.
also there's a point where you have to go on. You have to go forward
Yeah.
to kind of live and wallow in your worst moments.
And I think the art also helps you express and get over that at the same time.
does.
It really is a way, it's a therapeutic release after going through all this trauma.
Well, you got to put the baggage down. You can't carry the same bag for your entire life. At some point, you just got to put it down and move through the door. And
Right.
you got to keep.
And that's a part of what I've been for a long time is, listen, this is the truth, but I'm not condemning you to the day we die. This is not a punishment. You aren't gonna, make it up to me, hell or high water, and no matter what, you're just gonna love me. And if you love me, we fix this and we keep going, and we have what we wanted to have when we got together in the first place.
Yeah. And as a woman of faith, I'm sure forgiveness is a major part.
I call it the F word because it's the hardest. Oh, it's the hardest, rottenest part of the process.
Yeah.
But like they say, it's for you.
Right.
Well, it's for you.
Yeah. It's for you, but it's also for both of you to heal and move forward positively as well. So
Yes, but sometimes you think, well, I'm letting this person get away with whatever, but nobody gets away with anything.
yeah.
You live with yourself,
So with this music coming out and the album pretty much in the can and ready to go, what's the intention moving forward after album comes out? Do you plan on, is the intention to go on a tour and play cities, night after night and, do the tour bus thing and play shows? Do you plan on touring the album? Because, the other thing is pandemic, your compromised immune system with the cancer and everything, how do you go about promoting the music and doing shows?
Well, right now we're not doing any of that. We're not gigging. We're not, maybe some virtual things we could look into doing.
Yeah.
I'm still recovering. Anytime they cut into your chest wall, it affects your breathing and your diaphragm. I couldn't talk for probably 3 weeks without, this scratchy thing going on. I couldn't breathe well. I'm still recovering my voice. So to a large degree, I have shuttled any plans to tour, to promote through touring. What I am hoping is going to happen is that people are going to hear the music and be touched by it, purchase it, support it. And as things open up for our country and for me, that we'll do more of that. And, I'm still raising kids. I have 2 teenagers still at home. So, and a husband with a very big career. Yeah. So for everybody to come on the road with me, I would venture to say we would do summer tour or, little things like that. Not like the 2 years in a bus on the, around the world.
Yeah.
I don't see that for myself as a reality unless we're past the point that we're raising our kids.
Right. A couple of years. You got like a 17 and a 14-year-old, right?
Right. And there's a good possibility they're going to live at home and go to school that first year or two.
Which
so I'm not saying that I'm going to never do anything till they leave home. But like I have one kid who has learning challenges, so it's not just like, boom, kick them out of the house right at 17. So I'm mitigating a dream that has a lot of potential to kind of, it would, I think, take away my stability to go whole hog out there.
Yeah.
Like you're describing. So I just believe we can create the life we want. And so I'm hoping to do things like one-off shows, be on the road, be out in some city once a week rather than night. Yeah, you understand?
A Vegas kind of stand or something.
Yeah, you do like a 4-night residency in Nashville, and then you go down to Miami and do like a 3-night stint, and I think that's what shows are going to be, honestly, going forward, because it's going to be a while before we start packing into arenas and big amphitheaters and clubs again.
I really think so. And even the virtual, we have to really perfect virtual music, because right now the sound quality isn't so great. I've tuned into some virtual concerts and I'm like, nah. You know what I mean?
And the production value is not that great. The camera angles are a little spotty sometimes, and it's pixelated. And
the only ones that are really good are the ones that are pre-packaged and pre-produced, and are like kind of like live to tape kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Let me, if I can just go back to the cancer diagnosis for a second. When you got that diagnosis and you knew that surgery was going to be involved, obviously it has a psychological impact. Did you have any moments there where you just went, the hell with this, I'm out, just forget about it? Or was it right away, no, I'm going to fight. I'm a fighter. I'm not a giver-upper.
Oh, I absolutely was a fighter. Now, I will tell you, the only time I had kind of a downer, what in the hell just happened to me, was about maybe 6 months after the whole thing. We're still in a pandemic. We still can't go nowhere. And I looked in the mirror and I'm like, my boobies, you know what I mean? And I was like, now I had reconstruction. So I do have, one wonderful surgeon who put me back together, so to speak. And everything is very beautiful and very well done.
And in fact,
I'm not looking at scars, but I had that was the only moment. I mean, when I got the diagnosis, I had already made up in my mind to be very radical. I harassed my doctors to book me because my son had got booked on that show. And I was like, I got to take him to work in 4 weeks. You got to get me in and out. Come on.
Let's go.
And so thankful that I had something else to focus on. And then once the show started and then the pandemic hit, I'm like, okay, good. I get to recover now. I can sleep and I can take my pain meds and lay around the house and make my husband rub my feet, And then when, spring came and we were still at home, summer came, right about like June,
Christmas
July,
came.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to kill myself. I was just, I was crazy. I had to take a pill or two.
And I don't want to go all psychological again, but I'm just going to ask you this last one, then I'll turn it over to Jeremy. But as a woman, when you lose your breast, do you lose your sense of womanness, if you know what I mean? Do you sort of go, hey, is there like that kind of emotional impact where you just go, wow, I'm a little bit less, and then you go, no, I'm not, and then you get it rebuilt? Like, is there that kind of trauma involved? And sorry if the question sounds silly, but
no. Well, I don't think it's silly, because if I put the shoe on the other foot, and you think about a man going through something,
yes,
that would be a lot. Yes. I can tell you, as a mother of 5 children, my boobs have been to hell and back, because I nursed all my children. I kind of have moved well past the vanity side of what breasts are for, because when you nurse children and you go through all this,
but forget the vanity. There's still
no, but you just have to put them back. So then you buy the little bras to hoist them back up, or you go get them done, or whatever you do. But there's for me, and I don't know if I can credit my mother for this or my upbringing. I just always saw myself as this whole person, as this human spirit. And so did I feel defined or a lack of definition? I can't say that I did. I really can't. The only thing that I ever felt was, this horrible cancer is trying to kill me, and I'm going to fight it till it just backs down. I hate sickness. I hate disease. As a Christian, I've watched people be healed. Through prayer, through meditation. I've had healings myself that, where the thing just disappeared and the doctor's like, I don't know what happened, it's gone, So I believe in that, and I believe in the supernatural power of prayer and healing and the mind over matter. So I don't want to be a poster child for sickness.
Right.
I don't want to be a poster child for a disease. I do want to be a poster child for the solution.
Right.
And that's the only reason. Because I'll be honest, I'm much more private.
Right.
And I would have never shared that, except that I felt strongly that I needed to encourage women.
Yeah.
Well, your strength is inspirational. I mean,
it really is. Listen, it's incredibly inspirational, especially with your attitude of, I don't want to just be another statistic, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if I was in your position that I would be doing this interview today. I probably would be hiding or cowering or saying it's private, you know? So it's absolutely inspirational.
I felt a definitive sense of, you need to share this. And you need to tell women
and men
themselves regularly. Yes. Go screen. Cancer is becoming more prevalent. It's environmental. It's our food. It's our air. It's our water. It's our clothing. It's the chemical. It's the lotion you put on your body. There's just so much toxicity that we just have to be on the front line about. Well, one, if we can start to monitor as much as possible what we're putting in ourselves. Yeah. You know, hard to do. It's hard to read every label. And then sometimes labels lie. You know, they say they don't have things in them and they do. But at the least, we should be checking for these malformations because your chances of surviving go up exponentially the earlier you catch it.
Absolutely.
So, you know, survival rates for stage 1 are like 95%.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mentioned my auntie earlier in the interview. That was 2 years ago. I just lost my uncle this summer to colorectal cancer in the pandemic. And towards the end of his life, he truly, and I mean truly, fought to bring attention to early detection. You know, colorectal cancer in men specifically is preventable and treatable in 99% of the cases if caught early. So early detection is a major part of it. So if people are just, you know, scared or whatever to face reality, say, oh my God, maybe I have cancer. I don't even want to get checked. Go get checked because you can be treated.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And don't Google it.
I relate to,
Don't Google
don't WebMD it, whatever you do.
I relate to that fear, Jeremy, to laying in the bed and going, oh my God, is something wrong with me?
Yeah.
And I think back to the times that I've been encouraged to face my fears.
Yeah.
Because the way you die is by hiding and running towards it, facing it. You might just have the chance to save yourself. Believe me, when I go for my little checkup every 4 months, I'm like, oh, I don't want to go. And I'm like, I don't want to hear bad news. And, you know, you have all those emotions and dread. And when she came back,
that music is coming out. That's the good news. There's positive coming out.
And that's what, but see that again, this is such a fundamental key to life, is focusing on the good, focusing on what's good in your life. There's so much good in my life when this happened that if you made a list of all the blessings, I have a gratitude journal in my phone. There's 65, 68 entries in this thing for every little single good thing that's come my way in the last probably 3.5 years. And so the more you focus on what's good, I think
the brain. The gratitude journals have been proven to rewire the brain.
Yeah.
They're useful.
And to heal you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody should do one for 21 days. Write down 5 things a day that you're grateful for. Never double up. You know, don't go, I love my mom. Don't do that for 21 days. And it has been proven to rewire your brain. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that. I will tell you, it's great.
I thought that I was a grateful person till I did that exercise.
Yeah.
Because I say my prayers every day, but you know what I was doing? Complaining in my prayers.
Well, sorry, I'm going to bring out the psychology in me because that's what I studied in. But yes, people, we wake up every morning and we go, oh, the alarm didn't go off. Oh, it's raining outside. Oh, and everything we say is negative.
Yes.
The gratitude journal says, get your brain out of that space and wake up and go, I had toast. I'm grateful that I had toast because somebody else is maybe not having. I'm grateful that the snow clearing service showed up and did it. And it teaches you, because we wake up and everything is just negative. The shower's too cold. The traffic's too.
Yes.
That's why the gratitude journals are just terrific. Refocuses you into positivity.
Absolutely. Yeah. I even have a little reminder on my phone. Smart. Every night, right before bed, it says, remember the good.
That's right. That's smart. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, it's the way I live. And my husband is even more ridiculously positive than I am. He's so positive, he gets on my nerves. I call him Terry Robbins. I call him Terry Robbins because the Black Tony Robbins, because he's so annoyingly, when stuff is going wrong, he's like, well, this is just a new opportunity to, and I'm like, shut up.
Oh my God. There we go.
But he's right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah. He's terrific. And I loved him when he played with Washington, by the way. That's my team. So pleasure.
Still have good friends there. Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to get him on next time, Rebecca. You get both of you to join us. This is amazing.
Well, he promised that he's going to help me push the music. So since I'm soft launching right now, we're not in the hard launch.
Yeah.
But enough of those songs are about him. He's going to have to explain himself.
Yeah. We'll do a part 2 of this, and both of you come on, and we'll just bust his balls about all the songs that are about him.
That sounds good.
Well, Rebecca, you so much.
You said it all. You said it all. Anything else you want to throw in? Last, we're running out of time.
Just keep watching on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and following me for the release of the project. We're pulling it together. It's like the bag is almost full, and we're drawing the string. We're going to drop it. We're just trying to get every piece filled so that it's perfect.
Great.
I love it.
Thank you so much.
Well, Regina Madre, look out for the album, new music, and the videos and everything. Thanks so much for chatting. This was awesome, Rebecca. It's so great to meet you. We'll do this again.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right. We'll talk soon. Happy New Year.
You as well.